We have got a guest that is going to be talking to us just about we were talking earlier about having our conversation, sharing our journey, our political or our career paths with high school students here in the city of Chicago. Now, how about this? We're going to hear from LeAndre Perkins. After he graduated from high school, he applied to a number of universities, community college, and even the Navy. But his criminal record prevented him for just being able to hit the career pipeline that was offered, through these institutions. Let's bring Mr. Perkins in right now because he's going to update us on what he's doing right now and how back in the day that was something that you kind of lost hope there for a little bit. Did you, Mr. Perkins?
Yes. Yes, man. How y'all doing?
How you doing?
Good, man, and welcome to WVON.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. So let's talk about your journey and what you're doing right now. You ran into roadblocks, you ran into barriers, you ran into not speed humps, but stop signs when you graduated from high school. So tell us about your story.
I grew up on the south side of Chicago. I tried universities, community colleges. I tried to go to trade school as well, but nothing really worked out for me. And I found out about a construction skills course that was offered at a halfway house called St. Leonard's. And it gave me an understanding of construction. It was always something that I heard about. I never really knew anyone in that or like in the construction fields, anything like that. So I applied. I did well in the class. I graduated. And I went to, it was a job fair in the University of Chicago. It was a Department of Aviation. And I saw Hire 360 there, and they had a booth. They had a pre-apprentice program, and they said they was going to, just let us know all about the trades and everything like that. And I was really interested, and completed the apprenticeship, the pre-apprenticeship, the course, the class, and passed my union test. And now my next step is I'll be going to apprenticeship school.
Oh, wow. That is an amazing journey already, and it's nowhere near done. We're nowhere near the end of that journey. So we thank you for sharing that. My question is this, because we as Darlene mentioned, you had a criminal background, and that had precluded you from being able to participate in some of the more traditional ways that we look to advance our education, become employed, what have you. My question is, what is it about intrinsically the construction business that is not such a problem?
They're really not that against backgrounds or anything like that, if that makes sense. So They're really lenient towards background. So I mean, as long as you don't have any murders or any tough burglaries, anything like that, they're willing to work with you. Matter of fact, even if you do got murders or burglaries or anything like that, they're willing to work with you in the construction field.
Man, I'm glad you said that, because there are a lot of folks that are in your shoes trying to figure out what to do next, because we have a problem with recidivism. That's when people commit crime again, and the easiest way to get people not to commit crime again is to give them an opportunity,
give them a job.
Right. So again, this is very important for folks that have maybe made a mistake in the past, trying to get on the right track, and so that they don't fall back into those same habits. What advice would you have for that individual, especially as a black man?
Just don't give up. You know what I'm saying? Utilize all the resources that's around. I wouldn't know anything about it if it wasn't for Hire 360 or St. Leonard's. I wouldn't know anything at all. So just all the resources that you can find, talk to people. You know what I'm saying? Just keep communicating with people. Let them know what you want to do. Don't let your past determine your future at all.
And it's so amazing that you were out and about, you were at this career fair, and you saw or heard a little bit more about what Hire 360 is trying to do. But that says something about you, Mr. Perkins, that you inquired a little, you dug a little bit deeper just to find out more information about what Hire 360 had to offer for you. And then, like you said, now here you are, level up. It changed your life.
Yes, ma'am. Guaranteed. I'm really thankful for the program. It really gave me an understanding on life itself, really, because without this program and anything like that, I just would have been at the temp agencies and everything. I wouldn't have had no career field. I wouldn't have had no guidance or a career or anything like that. So I'm really thankful for it.
And tell us, why did you think it was so important for you to share your story with us here on WVON today? Are you trying to encourage somebody else out there listening?
Oh, yes, ma'am. That's been my whole thing. even when I was working at the warehouses and everything like that, I was just we trying to like succeed. You know what I'm saying? We want to succeed in life. We want to like make the big money and, you know what I'm saying, do the big things and everything like that. So we trying to put ourselves in position so we can do that. So if my story can help out, then that's something that I'm trying to do.
Mr. Perkins, sit tight with us. We're coming up on a break. We're going to take this real quick. I want to ask you about the program itself, how long it runs, what people can expect, that kind of thing. So just sit tight. We have more questions for you, and we'll be right back after this break for traffic and weather. We are back on the afternoon show. The time is 3:52, and we are speaking with Mr. LeAndre Perkins, and he is sharing his story of how he turned his life around with the assistance of Hire 360.
Yeah, and real quickly, let me just say what it is. It's a non-for-profit organization, and through localized mentorship, direct investment, and specialized services, Hire 360 will strengthen the participation of underrepresented populations in the Chicago area with a special focus on engaging in youth to consider the trades as a viable option and extending your career. So
yeah, we've had Hire 360 on before.
Yes, we have.
But it's still different when you have a first person account.
Absolutely. When you have a Mr. Perkins who's walking around looking at a career fair and sees a sign for Hire 360. LeAndre, tell us real quickly again. I know you said it's important to tell your story to hopefully inspire somebody else. So tell us what trade most interests you then.
So carpentry most interests me. The reason is, like, I like to see things built from the ground up, and like carpentry is on every level of the like the structure day. So they start off with the flooring, up to the walls, to the roof, and everything like that. So, and they open it up for all the other trades, for the electricians, for the plumbing, and everything like that. So I really like carpentry because I like it from the ground up.
You know, I've heard people complain about, you know, like you said, if you're not looking for an opportunity like this, once you find out about it, shame on you. But I've heard people talk about the hours, the hard work, the equipment that you're handling. Tell us about your experience. You have a typical 8-hour, 10-hour workday like everybody else, correct?
Yes, ma'am. So I haven't officially started like my career just yet. I'll be like in apprenticeship school, but I compare it to like any other job. I've been working in warehouses all my life, so like 12, 10-hour days, like
wow.
It's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like as long as you're willing to put in the work,
yes.
You know, the time will pass.
And this is a paid apprenticeship too, correct?
For the first, I believe the first 2 months is not paid, but like once you graduate that first 2 months, you get a little stipend for it. So
you got to be willing to. You got to want it. You got to want it. If that's what you're saying, for 2 months at least.
Yes, ma'am.
So you mentioned that you graduate. So let's talk about what that process looks like. How long is the program? What can people expect if they sign up for it?
So the pre-apprentice program is 3 months. So because of COVID, everything is like virtual. So we report through Zoom links, participate, learn about the construction trades. They have tours available. They have tutoring available. They have like one-on-ones with your case manager, letting them know like what you want to do, what application trades are open, and things like that.
Okay, that sounds excellent. You know, the thing that I take away from this, because we have these conversations here on WVON all the time. College is not necessarily for everyone, right? And I think we do ourselves a disservice by trying to make 100% of our kids go to college, because that, you know, the education is important, but college isn't the only means of education. Maybe if you could just speak to the importance of having this as an option as opposed to a regular 4-year university.
I saw something on the internet. It compared a guy that he studied psychology in college, and he's in like $200,000 worth of debt right now because of it. But then on the other side of the split screen, there was a guy that went to trade school. He has no debt at all. He's working. He's getting paid $80,000 a year. So I mean that's really the difference. Like you ain't no debt if you go to a trade school, because you get paid to go to the trade school.
Exactly. That's a great distinction, and this is the other trend that's happening now out in corporate America, not even corporate America, but in the workforce, I should say, is that employers are now not steering away from college graduates, but they are opening up their considerations to people based on experience, not just based on education level. Right. So can you talk about the importance of the experience that you've received at Hire 360 and how that has been the thing, if that's the case, to help you not just get employed, but stay employed?
The word I want to use is like adamant. Like they're really like consistent with us. Like they're making sure that we know the information, we're able to utilize the information that they give us. So that's like key. And then the tours, they give us like a hands-on feel for be able to talk to these trade members, these workers, be able to talk to them and just ask them personal questions that we have about like union cards or a typical work day and their process becoming like project managers, or how did they get hired for this job? It doesn't transfer over to the next job and things like that.
Excellent. We want to thank. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I was just going to say thank you so much, LeAndre Perkins, for calling us and sharing your journey with us and the information that has changed your life with Hire 360. I want to give everybody the web address. It's hire360chicago.com if you'd like to learn more information. And it's amazing. I was just checking out their website. They've got, over the next 10 to 15 years, $100 billion going into mega projects.
Wow.
Within the city of Chicago. So there's some money to be made. I'm not saying you're going to walk away with all that.
I do have a quick question.
But you're going to get some of that.
Now that you say that, because we got a little bit of time. Let me ask you this, Mr. Perkins. And this is just from your perspective, your individual experience. Do you see this as an area that is welcoming to African Americans, and should we kind of look at this as a new opportunity for folks to get into the middle class?
Yes, sir. It's a great opportunity for African Americans. I don't know. I really go to fight against the stigma, the African Americans are lazy and everything like that. But it's a really good opportunity because one thing that the founder of Hire 360 said, I forgot it, Jay Rao. One thing he said it's good to have people that look like that's working on it's good to have people that look like
the community.
People, that's working on the
community that it serves. Yeah,
you know.
Right.
And that really stuck out to me. That really resonated well with me.
It sounds like everything.
Because one thing that Hire 360 is trying to do is of course level the playing field. They know there are a number of disparities out there, number of people that don't look like us on some of those sites making some of that good money. And what Hire 360 is doing is making sure that some of these bigger firms come together and work with the smaller firms so that we can get people like LeAndre out there. So thank you. LeAndre, thank you so much for sharing your story. We appreciate you.
No problem at all. Thank you so much.
Continued success for you. What are you, 29 years old now?
For me?
Yes.
No, I'm 29.
You're 29 years old and doing your thing. So keep on doing it, brother. We appreciate you.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
All right. Take care. I'd love to share stories like that with our listeners here at WVON.
Yeah. It's important. Like I said, there's so many brothers that need a second chance.
Absolutely.
Brothers
and sisters.
Absolutely.
Need a chance. Need a second chance, third chance.
Yeah, you're right.
There we go.